Hi everyone, I'm JD from Willow Journals. Welcome back to my channel. I am a journaler, journal maker and teacher of journaling courses, and in this video I am super excited to share with you a flip through of my collage art journal. It's also an inspiration journal, a creative visual journal, a scrap journal and a treasure journal all in one. And yeah, I was really inspired by my altered book journal from last year. This is the Anchor journal that I did for the Anchor journal course, and this was the very first altered book journal that I ever did, but I fell in love with this style. This was a recipe book that I got from an op shop or a thrift shop. You can see some of the words coming through there, and I just really love the idea of covering the pages with my own photos and pages from magazines and things that inspire me, papers. Yeah, I absolutely loved it, and some of the pages in the book were blank, so I could just use them like that. Others I covered over, others I had some of the writing peeking through, others you only needed to cover a little piece of the page because maybe there was only writing at the top of the page. And this book, well, this journal was just such a delight for me to use. And I really want to do more of this, and so I was looking around trying to find another book that I could use as a journal. I didn't have any in my own stash. I went to 3 different op shops, couldn't find anything suitable, and then finally I stumbled across a video from Bonnie and Clive, and she had a video sharing how she collaged over all of the pages of a Yellow Pages phone book. So we get those in Australia here, a Yellow Pages phone book. So I grabbed one of those Yellow Pages phone books, and this is my new altered journal book. So how exciting is that? I will link below Bonnie's video because she actually collaged over every single page. Me, I ripped out pages so that everything would fit, because I wanted to use this more as I think she was going to use it to chop up and make tags and embellishments and ephemera out of it, whereas I'm using mine as an altered book journal. And so I'm going to be sticking in my own photos, my own writing, and really chunked up the pages. So I could have chunked it up more, but I will be adding more later on. Basically what I've done so far is just done the background pages. I've prepared all my pages, and now they're ready for me to add my writing, my journaling, my memories, my heart and soul, my photos from my life. But I've just prepared the pages first of all. And to set the scene, it's a creative space. This was a place for me to just play, to experiment, try different techniques, try some different art styles, just experiment and have fun. And on the front I put the word inspiration because it's a place where I could gather all the things that were inspiring me. And I love it says World of Dreaming. Yay. So yeah, let's do a flip through of this. And I have turned this into my next journal course, which will be free, available on my channel. I haven't done any journaling in it yet, like I've said, but I will be doing that and adding more to the page. So even though this is like a really chockers full journal and all the pages are completely covered, I will still be adding more to it. I might add a bit of paint, I might add a bit of sequins or glitter, I might add definitely lots of photos, maybe some more images and some stamping, who knows, but these are just background pages ready to go. And so I want to write something here, and then yeah, for each day of this course we'll have a different prompt, a different theme to work with. I'll give you a bunch of ideas and inspiration to work with. So this one could be like the vintage neutral page, this one's to do with like post, as you can see, like envelopes, stamps, post. This is like the customs form that I send with my mail for journals that I send overseas, and I just love it. The window envelope here, these are all in size of envelopes. This one's inspired by Daphne's diary and how these images here, I just love this artist's work and I want to do something like that, so that inspires me. This page here, another vintage page, and each element that I've included on these sorry, I'm getting tongue-tied. Each element that I've included on these pages in this journal, they all mean something to me. Like I've saved this, that means something to me. This means something to me. This word means something to me. This means something to me. These are all pieces that I've saved, little scraps, but scraps that are meaningful to me. This means something to me. And when we get into the course, I'll talk about that I show the process of how I've done every single page, and then I'll talk about why I put each element on the page and my ideas for how I'm going to use it. Again, I will cover some of this up later on. I might get some journaling cards or something and stick that on top of this so that I have some writing space to write about my grandmothers who both love to sew. I just love images like this. So things I've saved, I've got baskets, I've got boxes of images that I've saved over the years that I knew that I wanted to use, but I didn't know how, and it all just comes together in this book. Scrappy pieces, but also treasure pieces like this. Yeah, a music page. This one I did a bit of paint and used the map page from the yellow pages because it's of Bowen. So I want to stick a photo of Bowen in here and write about my thoughts about living in Bowen and why I moved here. This one has a picture of Airlie Beach, which is one of my favourite places in the entire world. So I want to take a photo of Airlie Beach and stick it on the page here, and then journal about why I love Airlie Beach and just the magic of it and why it makes me come alive. This one I did more paint as well, with some gold and layering of bronze and copper, silver on this mirror. This was from my Daphne's Diary page, and I just coloured it in silver so I can maybe write something about identity on this page and just maybe get some words or a selfie photo, and I don't know, lots of ideas running through my head. This one is a garden page from a book from the Secret Garden, and I can talk about how that movie and that book were a big part of my life and just so much. Of course, it has to be a Keanu page. This came from his scratching tree, you know, so like real life ephemera that I've kept, photos from him. I've got a journaling card that I want to use of his paw print. I'll stick that on the page somewhere and write about Keanu. This one's dedicated to my grandparents, page from a hymn book that I used to read at their house. This one's dedicated to one of my favourite childhood books and just memories of reading it, and just reminds me of comfort and home and family and the wonder of books and how I just absolutely loved books. I was always reading as a kid, and just such a comforting thing books are to me. One of my favourite movies when I was a kid, so I can just write all over here. Journaling space, just about what this movie meant to me and how it inspired me, and my love of princesses and dresses and crowns and fairies and wands. I love all that stuff. Like, I really love all that stuff. If I could wear princess dresses and wear crowns every day, I would. A colour page, my first journal that I fell in love with. This is the cover, just a colour page here. This is one of my favourite art pages that I did. I painted it all black and then just gold, and my quote about there's gold and glitter in the dirt and darkness, so I'll write that on there somewhere. And maybe I'll write about some of the places where I see gold, or some of the things that are gold to me. Yeah, I just love that page. This one's another inspiration page, how I want to decorate my room and decorate my wall, sort of inspired by this from that in her studio magazine flip through that I did a while ago on my channel. This one dedicated to the typewriter, how I love typewriters, and just I did these typed pages ages ago. I didn't know I would put them in this journal, but now they're here. And this is typewriting from my grandpa. This is my grandpa's typewriter, and I would love a typewriter like this. Just, I love how every page is different. Every page tells a story though. Every page has just scrappy pieces, but also treasure pieces and photos. And to me, this just brings together everything I love all in one book. Like, it's not just the treasures, it's not just the scraps, it's not just inspiration, it's not just art, it's all of it. Anything goes in this journal, everything. This is just, like, I had poetry from back when I studied a Master of Writing and Literature, and I kept this one poem because I just remember being struck by the humour in it, and this other poem that inspired me, and the worksheet or the unit outline of the class of my favourite subject that I took, a bit of blackout poetry that I wrote, well, not wrote, but found on this book page, and just stuff like that. Like, it's just a holding place. A journal is a holding place for the things that matter to you, and I don't know, I just love how eclectic this journal is, and I really am so excited to share this as a course to help you bring to life your own art, collage, scrap, treasure, inspiration journal, whatever it is that you want it to be. It can be. Ballet means so much to me. I've got a ballet page in here, and I'll write about my ballet dream, and a Johanna Clough inspired page because she inspires me so much, and then an Amity Bloom inspired page because Nazi inspires me so much. Then pieces of my own letters from my life. This was an old address, so I'm okay sharing that. I don't live there anymore. And a letter from a friend, and like postmarks and stuff, like keeping those in there. I've got other letters from her, so that's why I'm okay with covering some of the information. Things like The Velveteen Rabbit, another childhood book that I loved when I was a kid. And I think it's just so sweet. And bunny rabbits, and how I had bunny rabbits when I was a kid. This is my favourite page in the whole book, or one of my favourite pages, because this is actually what I want to do with a new project. Eventually I want to do the same kind of thing, but only using treasures from my life. So other things, like some of them are treasures from my life, others are just random bits and pieces that I found that I like. Whereas this, every single page or element on this page is something that connects to me in a real personal way. I was born in spring. These are my symbols: blue butterfly, blue bird, blue flower, the queen stamp, the tiara, the crown, that's what that represents, sparkle. These came from my sister-in-law, my brother-in-law. September, I was born in September. So it just, a piece of ephemera that I found personally, library card, vintage library card. So all of this, like vintage pieces and pieces that are meaningful to me, this is like a treasure page to me that's very personal from my life. So one day I want to create another book like this, but using these types of things that can really tell my story in a more personal way. Other pages, yeah, every page is personal in here, but some are more personal than others. Some are just kind of fun, random pages. Like this one's not really personal at all. It does connect me to my grandmother's through sewing, but other than that, not really anything is significant on this page. Whereas this one, every single element is just like, yes, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me, that's me. And so I want to do a journal that's all of that one day. This page of just books that inspire me, and I just want to write about that. So it's kind of like a catch-all of just things that inspire me. I want to have it to reflect back on. Oh yeah, I want to do a book like that, or I want to decorate my room like that, or I want to have that fashion style. I don't know what it is. This inspires me so much. Pages from Daphne's Diary. I love this. Oh, I want to do that. I want to write my own little Daphne's Diary blurb here. Granny Chic. The book Granny Chic inspires me. I've done a flip through of that on my channel too. I just want to write about how that inspires me to publish my own book in this sort of style. The fox, another significant symbol in my life, like the crown, and the book, The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse, inspires me too. I want to do a book like that one day as well. So yeah, I could keep on going. Like honestly, I could still do more pages. Obviously, I've ended this journey with this book, and I want to do more. I could keep on going. There's so many other things that inspire me. There's so many other treasures and scraps that I want to document, pieces from my own life, ephemera, photos, all that jazz. So I want to keep on going with this project. I need another yellow pages. That's what I need. But I love this. Like every page to me has so much meaning and was just so fun to do. This was so therapeutic for me. And I really hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I really hope you're excited to make your own. You don't need any yellow pages. Obviously, I'll come on and share later on an introduction to the course and just go over some materials that you'll need, some ideas of journals you could use, and some approaches you can go with this course, because this is just one way. But if you want to use a junk journal, you can use a junk journal. If you just want to use a visual diary, you can use a visual diary. If you want to just use treasures, you can just use treasures. If you want to use scraps, just use scraps. But yeah, I'll take you through my process, my thoughts behind this, my ideas of how I'm going to use it, and yeah, how it's just a background. So now I can go in and journal on top of these meaningful pages. So yeah, I'm super excited. The course will come out eventually. I just got to get some other videos out first that I've got a backlog of, and then I'll do the introduction introduction video to the course, and then after I do the introduction, I'll give you a bit of time to gather your materials, find a journal to use, and then we'll get started. And then my idea is that every day I'll put out a video sharing a page from this journal and the prompts and the theme, and some ideas and inspiration for you for that day. And it'll be more like a chatty thing, because as you'll see in my process, I'll chat about what it means to me, thoughts on journaling, tips and tricks, and just why I love journaling so much, maybe stories from my own life that go with the pages, and that whole journey, because for me journaling is about that self-discovery, that documenting of your life, putting down the meaningful memories down here. So I'll talk more about that each day of the course. Anyway, super excited, so excited, can't wait for it. Go check out Bonnie's video of how she used her yellow pages, completely different way, like still collage but different purpose, which I love, that you can use things in such different ways. And maybe you want to try her way too, because that's a really fun way to do a collage as well, where you can cut up the pages and use them in different ways as too. So yeah, go check that out. Thank you, Bonnie, for that inspiration, because I was really stuck. I really wanted to do this, but I just didn't have the book to use. So without your video, I never would have used a yellow pages. So awesome, guys. I hope you're doing really well. Journal your life because your stories matter, and I'll see you in the next video. A big special thank you to my beautiful patrons who supported me in February. Thank you so much. I could not do this without you. It really means the absolute world to me. And if you would like to become one of my patrons supporting my channel and Willow Bound Journals, you can do that. The link is down below in the description box. That's where you get access to more videos, behind the scenes looks, personal updates, first access to my journals, printables. If you're a Ruby patron or higher, you get every single digital kit from my Etsy, plus one new one every month. And you can also look in the description box below for links to my Instagram, Facebook group, journal courses that I run, and all the details are down there. If you'd like to contact me, you can do that with my email down below as well. And may you journal your life because your stories matter.